Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about the image in the background, the latest rumour image, because my spider senses are tingling and I think Primaris Wave 2 is on the horizon. So let's jump in and let's get started. Before we get into it, no, this is not a Primarch. No, it's nothing to do with Primarchs. It is definitely vehicle-based, and the reason I say it's vehicle-based is because of this image right here, which is from an interior of a Rhino, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this was sent to me by a chap saying, hey, Valrak, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you compared it? And I was like, oh, my holy emperor, that is basically an Imperial design. So the rumour image that we're seeing is definitely Imperial design. You could probably argue that maybe it could be used with the Gene Stealer cults, but at the moment we've more or less seen everything which the Gene Stealer cults have and will have. That's already been previewed. I'm actually kind of confused that we haven't actually had anything more in their codex or anything. Maybe at the end of this month, but the way I see it now, it's got to be sometime in February. Now back to this image. So what could this mean? Now, it's definitely Imperium, like we said. It's definitely something to do with a vehicle. Now, what I'm thinking is this is related to the Primaris range. And the reason I say that is because Primaris, I know people hate saying this, but for me, Primaris are the future of the Space Marine line. I know we can argue until we're all blue in the face, but the way that GW is going with advancing old characters into Primaris, I see that happening with more and more characters from the old range. I see Primaris soon taking over the reins and then being the main faction or the main force of Marines when it comes to the Space Marines. Of course, that's probably a few years away. It's not going to happen overnight, but this is going to be the next phase of the Primaris forces taking over. Now, the image itself, the actual rumour image itself, I definitely think it is going to be a new transport for the Primaris range. Now, I think everyone knows my stance on the current transport aspects of the Primaris. They are absolute trash. People always say, yeah, but the repulsor's pretty cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool, but it's overcosted as a transport. It doesn't work as a transport. It's more of a battle tank than it is a transport. Some people say, well, you can go out and buy a Thunderhawk. I'm like, yes, I'm not looking to spend like £400+ on a Thunderhawk just to transport my guys just across the board. And plus, Thunderhawks cost like 2,000 something points on the tabletop. If I want to play like a 1750 point game or a 19 whatever game, I'm not going to invest everything into one bloody Thunderhawk. It's just completely not worth it. So when it comes to the Primaris range, I foresee this rumour image now, what we're seeing in the background, as a part of a new Primaris transport, and it cannot come soon enough. Primaris need transports. We can't even get into anything. Calgar, now being upgraded into a Primaris, can't even fit in his own Land Raider. That's how stupid it is at the moment. So the Phase 2 of the Primaris range for me is going to revolve around much needed equipment. One of that much needed equipment is the Primaris transport, and I cannot wait to get it, and hopefully it's cheap. Hopefully it's not at their points cost along with like the repulsor tank. Hopefully it's going to cost the same or probably a little bit more than an actual Rhino that we have on the tabletop at the moment. Now, to go down some wild theory roads, there has been some talk, again this is just talk, nothing has been confirmed, take this with salt. There has been talk that the Primaris range are getting jet bikes. Basically, what we have now, bikes for the Space Marines, but matching the full Primaris Rangers, making everything fly instead of everything have wheels. Now this probably could be something like this. The Custodes do have like a kind of a radar on their jet bikes, but for me, I think it's too big and too square, if that makes sense, to actually fit on a jet bike. Plus, I'm not really in the camp of the Primaris getting bikes. I think Primaris getting bikes is probably one of the last things I want. They need a lot more to come before we get stuff like bikes, and there's so much the range needs before bikes and all that kind of stuff. So the big question is, when is this going to happen? When is Phase 2 of the Primaris going to hit? I personally definitely think it's going to be this year. Now, we can say this month is written off already because Kill Team's coming out this month. So next month, February, I see that as Gene Stealer. That is going to be the Gene Stealer month, unless they, you know, pull it out the bag and basically do the pre-orders at the end of this month and to be released at the start of February. But I don't really see that because we haven't really had that many articles gushing over the old Gene Stealer cultists. I know we've had a few, but we haven't had as many as we did with other factions, so I can't see that happening this month. I see the Gene Stealer stuff happening in February, and when it comes to March, hashtag March for Chaos is something that we've all been talking about on my streams and stuff like that. I personally foresee March is the month of Chaos. That is when we're going to get part 2 of the Vigilus book. I think we're going to get the new Abaddon model. We're going to get that basically new model that we got previewed at with the events. I think we all, I think, did everyone agree that it was a dark apostle or something? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we all agreed on. It's something heretical. I think that's the only thing we can all agree on. And of course, other stuff. Chaos Marines getting a brand new upgrade. There's rumors of Obliterators getting brand new upgrades. I think we can all confirm that when the Chaos stuff hits, it's gonna hit big. And I think everyone from the Chaos side, if you are a Chaos player, you've got to enjoy that. It's going to be great, but we'll talk about that. We'll probably in another video. This is more or less about Primaris and this rumour image. So I don't see it in February. I don't see it in March. I personally see it sometime in the summertime. I think, you know, with people, well, mostly students and stuff, taking the time off and maybe they have some spare cash around. I think that's probably one of the best times to hit that phase of Phase 2 and pump those models out, because bar Chaos, bar the Gene Stealers, and bar Primaris Wave 2, I really don't know what else is going to be coming this year. I know Sisters are coming, but apparently that's going to be coming at the end of the year, sometime in November, Decemberish. Again, that's unconfirmed. That's just, you know, the rumours that have been going around. But it would make sense if they came around Christmas, you know, big Christmas release, everyone buying all that kind of stuff. So for me personally, I see the Primaris stuff hitting around the summertime. But hopefully I'm wrong, because the faster we get Primaris, the more happier that I'm going to be. I'm just starting on my Imperial Fist now. I'm getting it all out the box, snapping them all off the sprues and all that kind of stuff. So it may be coming time and, you know, release when my Imperial Fist stuff is in full-on production. So that will make me a happy chapper. I'm hoping that when Phase 2 does hit, it is a really, really big release and not a small release. Like, I hope it's not just a transport. Apparently, the rumor is that we're going to get a flyer as well. I don't know how big the flyer is going to be. I'm hoping that maybe they'll combine it and do a flyer transport. That could be pretty cool. I'd definitely invest in a flyer transport, because I definitely think they're worth it. The Storm Ravens and stuff are really, really cool, and with the new beta rules that we mentioned before, if it has like bolters on it and all that kind of stuff, then it's going to be even more fun to just jump in and purge with the enemies and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully there's a lot more than just transports, characters, more weapons, more heavy weapons. Where's the plasma cannons? Where's the grav weapons? Where's the melee weapons, the power claws, the power axes? Not just for certain chapters, but for everyone when it comes to Primaris. So there's a lot of stuff really that Primaris need at the moment to really boost them up and get them on that level of the normal Space Marine. Right. That is me done for another video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry if I've been just rambling on for the past, I think we're moving on to like 8 minutes now. But thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any feedback at all, like what do you think is going for the Primaris range? What would you like for the Primaris range? Leave it below in the comments section and we'll have a nice little chat about it. Once again, thank you for watching the video. I'll see you all very, very soon. See you now and bye-bye.